Hey everyone, welcome to Commander Clash. This week we have a super special week for you guys. We're doing something called Penny Dreadful. And since this is a really different restriction, I want to pass it off to our resident Penny Dreadful expert in the group, Jennifer. Can you tell us about the Penny Dreadful format?
I'll do the best I can. I'm not really an expert, but it is a super cool format. So I discovered it several months ago, and it's the way the format is built, the entire thing, it rotates at every set release when the set is released on Magic Online, and every card that's a penny on that day when it's released is legal until the next set release. So most of our decks are going to be less than $1, because basically answered cost nothing. And every card you see is going to be 1 or 2 pennies. You can build all 4 of our decks for $1 if you want to go home and play it. I actually really enjoyed the deck building restriction. It made you have to find different versions of things you normally play. Like you always play mana rocks, you had to find different ones. And you always play card draw, you had to find different ones. So it was really cool. What did you guys think of it?
I loved it. I loved this restriction. I always love playing Commander to experience new things, see new cards, and these type of restrictions especially always push me to find and try out different things. So I really enjoyed it, and I'm just in awe that we can make such competent decks for only $1 US, and you compare it to like a movie admission where you're paying maybe like $10 US, and you compare it to this where you get at least as much value in terms of like time of entertainment for $1. It's great. I really like this so far. The deck builder.
And you can probably play it more than once because you're not going to see the whole deck the first time.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was a little skeptical heading into it because we had probably our least fun episode of Commander Clash ever was Pauper Commander. And I was a little worried when I heard when I heard the restriction. I was a little worried it would be like that. So when I actually started looking through the cards that were legal, I was pleasantly surprised to find there's actually a lot of really good cards. It doesn't. I thought it was going to feel like Pauper because of the cheapness, but it really doesn't. There's a ton of rares. There's a lot of really powerful effects. You don't usually get the best of an effect. Like you don't get Wrath of God, but you do have white wraths that are still very powerful. So I was very happy to figure out that it wasn't going to be Pauper Week 2.0, and this actually seems like a pretty interesting format.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of holes in Pauper as a format, for at least for Commander. And in here, I was pleasantly surprised that we had wraths, as you said. We in white, for example, because I already did research in it, and hostilities and Phyrexian Rebirth, both 2 wraths that I really enjoy, are both legal. Both are a cent online, so it's great.
That mean you're playing them against us?
I might have one.
I might have 8 or so. Everyone that's legal.
Oh gosh, I brought the wrong deck.
I also love that Hazezon Tamar, which is a very expensive card if you get a physical version of it, and a really, really cool card. One of my favorite, perhaps my favorite Blink General, is only a penny. So actually, let's start it off. Tom, can you tell us a little bit about your deck?
Sure, I'm playing Hazezon Tamar. He's a 7-mana 2/4 human warrior. The reason he's so cheap on MTGO is because he was given as a promo really early on and then also reprinted a bunch of times. So basically when he enters the battlefield, you make a bunch of sand warriors at the beginning of your next upkeep. The only downside is when he leaves the battlefield, you exile all sand warriors. So I'm really excited to try him out. I've definitely seen this guy played a bunch. Some of the important cards from this deck aren't really available, so I'm excited to kind of see. I took this deck in a pretty simple direction, and I hope it gets to pay off.
Yeah, it's neat also to see how each deck functions without the key cards, because a lot of the higher powered staples are just not going to be available to us. So we're going to have to make do with substitutes, and it's going to be interesting to see how the deck functions without these so-called staples, and then maybe it will even question if you need all those staples in the first place.
Speaking of staples, just to put a timestamp on this. The new MTGO ban list is currently out, so there are going to be some cards that we can't play and some that we can play. Not going to be too effective for this video, but for the next couple it will be.
Yeah, especially when we go to our regular budget. That means no Sol Rings and stuff like that. But that doesn't affect us for this one as much, for sure.
Probably at all. I don't think any of the cards that they banned are a penny.
Yeah, probably not. All right, Jennifer, can you tell us a little bit about your deck?
Sure. So I was looking through the commanders, the legendary creatures that were available to play in Penny Dreadful, and I saw Brago, and I was so excited. So one of my friends plays like full power Brago in paper. So like I'm used to playing against Brago. I've learned some of his tips and tricks, and so I saw that it was legal, and I'm like, done. I'm gonna build like hyper budget version of Brago in Penny Dreadful. And I was really surprised at how many sweet flicker effects and ETB effects there are on creatures at a penny. You know, I don't have, you know, the big ones that, you know, Brago's a pretty common deck in like full power commander. Mm-hmm. But I think I did a really good job taking the spirit of Brago and using it in this deck. So I'm pretty excited.
The spirit of Brago, because he's a spirit creature.
Indeed.
I got it. All right, really cool. And we go from Azorius to Azorius. Seth, tell us a little bit about your deck.
All right, I'm playing Isperia the Inscrutable, and my initial idea, well, this is actually my second idea. I was going to play this Teamer Threaten deck, and I couldn't find the pieces to make it work, so I moved on to plan B, which was Isperia, and I was going to be Sphinx Tribal, and there are a lot of Sphinxes. Probably every non-consecrated Sphinx in Magic happens to be a penny, because no one plays them. So I was going to be Sphinx Tribal, and I put together the Sphinx Tribal deck, and realized that I needed more cards, and Isperia doesn't actually care about having Sphinxes. It just wants flyers. So I kind of morphed away from being full-on Sphinx Tribal into being like a blue-white flyers deck that wants to use Isperia to tutor up kind of silver bullet flyers that can do things in different situations. So that's kind of the goal, and I'm excited for it. It's kind of a blue-white control-ish style deck that's hopefully going to get a lot of value out of the commander.
I see a running theme of value in this style of play right now, so this is going to be interesting how it pans out. And I think this is the first time we've seen old school Isperia. She has a really cool ability, and I think it works well in a 99 card format. She's a repeatable tutor if you can choose the correct card. So I think it's very cool. It's a really good choice. All right, and this is Tomer. I am playing Shu Yun, the Silent Tempest. I played Shu Yun one time before when we all picked a random card in Season 2 to build a deck around. I got a monk, so I ended up building tribal monks under Shu Yun. This deck is going to be quite different. I'm going to play a more Spellslinger type of deck of Shu Yun, not monk tribal. And I really like the style of play. Spellslinger is my favorite style of Magic in general. So I got really excited to have a chance to play Shu Yun. I ended up trying him out in Drownu because a lot of people have requested me to play Drownu at some point, and I decided ultimately to go with Shu Yun and leave Drownu for another time, but expect him to show up probably in like and anything goes. So both are Spellslinger. I think you guys are going to be entertained with what Shu Yun can do. It's some unique stuff for sure. I guess we'll start with Seth. How's your hand?
I'm going to keep it. I have 2 lands. I have some ramp at 3 mana, so if I get 1 land, I should be good.
My hand's looking good. I kept it. I'm playing a Selesnya Guildgate.
Ooh. And Tom goes first. I do not approve. I always go first in these games because I am the host of the games, and the host always goes first, but apparently not. Apparently
it's like a 60. You get like a 66% chance. It's common.
I'd say a little bit higher than 66. Come on.
I see your Guildgate and raise you a Guildgate.
Ooh. Look at this. Look at this mana in Penny Dreadful. Hello and good luck.
So I kept a kind of land-heavy hand, and it doesn't really do much, but I didn't want to go too greedy. It has my colors, so I'm going to raise your guild gate with a coastal tower, which is like just the same thing, essentially.
Yep, but white bordered, you fiend.
I know. The cheapest
So I
version.
realized I didn't talk about my my opening hand. So I have a really good balance of lands and spells, and I think I'm going to curve out pretty well, so I'm looking forward to it.
Sweet,
That
sweet.
Shivan Oasis over there.
Yeah, sorry, I also have white bordered lands.
8th edition, best edition. Am I right?
Looky, I
Hey.
have a mana rock.
Oh, whoa, these existed? Oh man, I'm playing this wrong.
I ended up taking that mana rock too. And also,
It's solid. It's 2 mana for colorless. Like, that's pretty good.
I would also hope the green has better things to do.
Oh yeah, my next turn is gonna be better. Although Cultivate and Kadamas Reach, funnily enough, neither legal.
Probably
Go
not.
figure.
Who would have thought? Yep.
Not me. I was really excited.
I wonder if Muldrifter's legal. I don't think I checked.
It is not. It is
Oh.
not legal. I definitely checked twice.
Brago sad.
Brago's so sad.
5/5/2/2 or useless. Find out now. 5/5 currently.
Oh my
There we go.
goodness. That's a thing.
That's my favorite
Nice.
part about this card. It is so dumb that way. It's just like
Ooh.
5/5/2/2 or just not even worth playing. We'll find out
it
together.
Also, it also is huge mana rock.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
And you reveal like an instant, and you're like, oh wait, that's right. This card is kind of bad.
Oh yeah, it's only creature or land. I thought it was like if it's a non-creature, you get bleh, and then if it's a land, or it's a non-land, and then bleh.
Oh, it's a penny for a reason.
Oh.
Brago's coming out to play.
Interesting. All right. So my favorite thing in Magic is to draw cards.
No. What? No.
I know. It's really weird. Actually, wait. Do I even? No, never mind.
Okay, good
All
point.
right, my like 5th favorite thing is to play my commander. I guess I'll play my commander.
Oh no!
What?
Seth might have accidentally F6 through his turn.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
Womp
and
womp.
discarded my land that I needed.
I'll probably not attack you then.
It's okay, I'll attack
Ooh.
Tomer for you.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Retreat to Ameria.
I mean, I'll attack back. That's how it works.
Oh, well, not attacking Seth. Seth has good
Fury
looking lands.
Stroke Giant. Ugh.
Yeah. He's a 5-mana 3/3 with Persist,
Big boy.
who never gets to use his own ability. It's kind of awkward that way.
Yeah. But it works really well with tokens.
Yup.
Oh, I already love this. I love this format. It's so cool. Imagine Seth passed on purpose because he has, I don't know, something.
And I wanted to just
Essence
guard
Scatter?
my land to hand size.
I don't know. Maybe he wants to reanimate a.
Island
Mm,
that I discarded.
yeah, I got nothing.
Oh,
be
man.
sure to do the thingy properly if you. Oh
Nope.
well, there it is.
Oh, no!
That's what I meant. So you have to make sure that it when it gets exiled, he goes to the exile zone.
That's
I
one
did
of,
that before.
one of the funny things about Commander Leagues going online is now pro players care about Commander to some extent, or like more pro-ish players, and some of the big conversations on Twitter today were about the Commander in specific and why it shouldn't work that way, and you should be able to choose on resolution instead of having to click ahead of time. So,
I agree.
and they might
Right.
fix it. They said it's on their list. They can't promise that it'll get done, but they know it's a problem, and now that pros are complaining about it, they might actually fix it.
Well, that's nice.
I'm excited for that. I'm not excited about Shu Yun being tapped down, but This is my favorite card. Well, okay, so I initially wanted to run Jeskai Ascendancy in this deck, which was my favorite card ever. Then I found out you can't. But this is my second favorite card in the deck. Surakar Spellblade.
Ooh.
Well, I'm excited now.
And there's layers of synergy with the Surakar Spellblade in this deck. Layers, I say. One synergy being this. Expedite? Yes. It gets haste, draw a card. Oh, and I also put a charge counter on it. Booyah.
Nice.
That's a combo.
Yeah? I don't have the mana for it, but, you know, I'll get there. I will use its ability, yes. And I will hit back. Huzzah.
Oh yeah, Surakar Spellblade only attacks. Gotta get those cards.
Gotta get that card. Oh, yeah. Done.
Oh boy. Well, we'll play
Oh, no.
a very sad hypnotic siren.
AKA a Cloud Sprite, which is still respectable in certain decks.
Yeah. I don't know if it is in my deck.
Oh, that's a lot of
Ooh.
ramp. That's good for the Hazezon. The Hazezon
Yeah.
gets big.
You just see what colors I need. I need a red, and I need a white, I think.
Oof. Retreat to Ameria.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, well, I'm super bummed about Brago being back in my command zone.
You should just cast them then.
You can break it back.
Look on the bright side. You didn't skip your third turn.
That's true.
Oh my goodness, so many tokens.
Second biggest punt of the day.
And a Fury Stoke.
Yeah, Tom is pretty far ahead right now, I think.
I would say so, yes.
Although you're going to draw a lot of cards.
I don't have any person that I can attack, unfortunately, so I'm not drawing cards.
Hypnotic Siren shutting you down.
That's pretty much it. I have to take drastic measures. All
My
right.
whole turn to replay my Brago.
Welcome back, Brago.
Welcome back, Brago.
Alright, let's
It's
spread
like
the
Welcome
love.
Back, Cotter, but for a Ghost King.
All right.
Well, he officially will not go to my command zone when he goes to exile anymore. So
Aha!
Boom, Path to Exile. It's not legal. But, I really... Oh,
if you're
okay.
gonna exile Brago, let me know so I can like change the setting.
I'm
Because
not...
that's not how it's supposed to go.
I'm not gonna exile Brago, but 1, 2. Ugh. Don't. I guess I don't need to draw cards. Oh no! What am I saying?
Blasphemy.
I have a land drop. All right, I'm still gonna do it then. I guess. I'm assuming you don't want to trade Brago away. I have a trick. Just FYI.
Are you attacking me?
No, I'm attacking.
attacking
I'm
me?
attacking Jennifer. I just
Oh,
want to
I
draw
was
a
gonna-
card. It's just 2
All right.
damage.
Ooh, bluff.
Wouldn't that have been an amazing bluff? I would have congratulated myself.
But-
Well, even if you had it, you weren't going to use it right now unless I blocked. So
Yeah, that was the thing. I didn't want to use it, and you didn't want to lose your Brago, so win-win.
correct.
Just Sky Banner, the best mana rock that I could find. And then I guess we're good. That's all.
Well, better late than never. We'll pass the turn. We're slowly getting towards maybe casting something that's not a 1/1.
Getting those land drops. Speaking of land drops,
Growth spasm.
mm-hmm.
Neat.
Oh my goodness, more lands.
Yep,
So much ramp.
it's the goal.
Well,
This deck does kind of a couple of things, and this is the main one.
the more lands he makes, the more tokens he makes. Which is
Right.
the thing. Ugh.
Yeah, let's go with a 1/1 and then +1/+1. Oh, I stacked those wrong. Whatever.
Well, it doesn't have first, or it doesn't have haste anyway, so it's not a big deal.
6/6 that way.
Hey.
Let's start hitting Seth again. And let's leave back 2 1/1s.
You don't have to leave the 1/1s. My Surakar Spellblade could just, say hi.
How about no? What if we didn't do that?
I figured as much.
Okay. I love Retreat to Emeria, gonna be honest. This card has always been super consistent whenever it's in one of my decks. I've really enjoyed it. It does what I need it to do. Just gives me creatures when I need it, or it just pumps up my team when I need it.
I always felt like landfall in general was like a feel-good mechanic. Because you never want to get land flooded, but then landfall kind of makes that feel less bad. And then obviously there's additional synergies with green ramp and fetch lands and everything. It just feels good.
It really does.
What is this? Oh, yes, tokens, yes. More tokens, yes.
Yes.
The Surakar Spellblade is so sad.
Who should we be attacking? All those lands look really intimidating over there.
It's the white border ones, I know. I
Yeah.
watch out.
I should have ran board wipes.
You
Nope.
didn't?
I have two.
I didn't.
I have 2. I could have had 4? I guess if you count Earthquake, I could have had maybe 5. And no, they're not in my hand. So much value.
Yeah?
Who do we want to lock down? How about this 5/5? Pretty big. All right. Y'all can have a turn now.
I'm eternally disappointed
Thanks.
now.
Disappointed?
Yes.
Is it a board
Howdy.
wipe?
No, it's my favorite
Please
card
don't be a
ever.
board wipe.
I forgot.
Oh.
Spellblade is not my favorite card ever, but oh no, there's so much. There's nothing. No, it doesn't work right now. It has to be late. Soon.
Okay.
Well, not soon.
Uh-oh.
It's really.
I'm so scared.
It's not.
I am very scared. Tomer is
it's
too
just-
excited.
It's really cool. It's a really cool. All right. Too scarier.
Life and Llamas.
I don't know. I probably still Tom, but it's close.
I'll block if I can.
I think Retreat to Emeria is the scariest card.
Yeah.
Just pump everything. I'm just wondering how close I am to dead.
Well, if they both attack you, fairly close, I think.
I'm pretty much at that point.
Are there penny overruns?
I mean, there's Retreat to Emeria.
True Conviction's probably a penny. That sounds like a
Son
card
of
that
a-
would be a penny.
I mean, it is called True Conviction. So.
I'm checking right now, actually. Oh, it is. It's
It
a
is
penny.
legal and penny
Oh
dreadful.
my goodness.
Are you gonna kill somebody? Can you 20 someone? Or 21?
Has to be 21.
No way.
It doesn't seem like it. That would be.
You're not
going
going
to
to kill someone on turn 6 in Penny Dreadful Commander. There's no way.
Oh no. This is super awkward. It's definitely the right call too. Oh no.
All right, I want to see this happen. Go for it.
Well, I'm deciding on who I attack right now.
Tom. Decided for you.
I actually can't kill Jennifer because she has... Darn it. Alright. Yeah. This is unfortunate.
Am I about to die?
No, you have
Uh-oh.
the hypnotic siren.
Oh, let's keep the hypnotic
So
siren.
flyer.
Thank God.
No, I have. All right,
Good job, Cloud Sprite.
Huh?
Good job, Hypnotic Siren.
Yeah, who would have thought flying men?
No, I'm just not. It's not a threatening board state. I'm afraid of like the overrun effect or Jennifer's board. But I actually can't kill Jennifer because she has blockers that are different colors. Because, behold,
Oh.
Ooh.
I have shelter.
So protection from what?
Okay.
Woo.
How does this end with someone dying?
I want to see this.
Hmm.
Did you not factor in the double strike mana?
I parsed it wrong, yeah. Whoops.
I'm okay with this.
Of course.
No, I also tapped it wrong.
Oh.
Ugh.
Was
Well,
it-
I guess I'm dead now.
To what? You haven't attacked anybody yet.
You could stay back on defense.
You can
You
just
you wanted to
cantrip.
cycle the shelter, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, hello.
Well, you're vivid. You can do Shu Yun mana now.
Yeah, no, I can do it now. Eh?
That's still okay. No,
Despite my best efforts to fail,
wait. What am I missing? Aren't you still failing?
All right,
You have
'cause
an
just
island
said-
in a vivid creek.
eh?
Okay.
What?
It doesn't have double strike, does it? Or did you already pay for double
I
strike?
already paid for
You did,
double
yeah.
strike.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Oh, yeah, I thought you still had to pay for double strike.
Nope. Yep.
That never happened before. Yes, I'm attacking.
Jeez. That's scary.
It is super scary.
So apparently,
This would be a fast
whoever has Shu Yun is apparently the scariest person at the board, no matter what else is happening.
I guess.
Right?
Huh.
Because it really looked like either Tom or I was the scariest.
I couldn't.
Yeah.
I couldn't attack Jennifer, unfortunately, because she has both blue and white blockers,
And colorless.
and that too.
Well,
Huh.
I'll.
Also,
do
my
a-
Eldrazi Scions have killed my F8, so...
Oh, that too.
I might make it through this whole game with only casting a hypnotic siren. I got a feeling I'm next to go. Hypnotic siren's been holding down the fort, but it's not gonna work forever.
I tapped that horribly.
Did you get bailed out by drawing the mountain?
Yep. That was or else I wouldn't have had the red to cast that last spell. That was just like awful. Okay.
Manaless.
I wonder where all those creatures are gonna go to.
It's,
The one that just wipes someone out on turn 6 seems
think-
like a pretty solid plan.
I think that would be correct, yeah.
oh man, there's actually a lot of good Brago stuff. I'm surprised.
I know!
I didn't
I'm
think there
really
would be
impressed.
enough in Penny Dreadful, but it's actually working.
Oh, the double bounce.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you got it set right, Tomer.
No, Jennifer.
Mine is set right.
Oh, shouldn't...
Well, your commander's
Enough.
probably going to get bounced, right?
Oh gosh, yes. I have 2 bounces after I flicker.
Do I...
Oh no, I have a bounce and a tap.
It goes to hand, not command zone. Command zone instead of... It goes to hand, yeah. That
Probably
should
better
be,
call.
That should be correct.
Yeah.
I just wanted to double check that it was doing the right thing. We'll find out. Oh my goodness.
This is so gross. I love it.
Oh, man.
Well, and I'm used to, like I said, I'm used to playing its full power Brago. This actually doesn't feel that far away from it.
Well, I'm pretty happy regardless. I got to do my thing.
There's,
That was pretty smooth.
I think if I tried to build Brago, even though your deck looks super sweet, once I realized Muldrifter wasn't there, I would have scrapped it.
There has to be an equivalent. Isn't there like a Kaladesh?
There's
Multiplier?
actually there's Cloud Blazer, yeah, which is actually probably better because you don't really want to evoke Muldrifter in Brago anyway. So and you gain life as well. So it's probably actually just strictly better than Muldrifter.
Yeah.
All right, who wants what back? Here, Seth, you can have an island
can I
back
have-
in your library.
Oh,
Oh, on top or bottom?
It's on
Okay,
bottom.
I wouldn't have minded my expedite back.
I actually wanted.
I know, that's
it
why
on
I didn't
top.
give it to you. Sorry.
That's fair.
I didn't get to choose. It just auto went to the bottom.
How do I do this? Can play a creature and then stuff. But am I dead next turn? Also, anything that I play gets bounced
Yep.
or tapped.
Uh-huh.
How's everybody's... Nobody has anything in their graveyards? Come on.
Yeah, they do. Well, you do. We don't.
I do.
Hey, I just cleaned out Seth's graveyard for him.
That's true. There was an island there a minute ago.
You do have really pretty islands, Seth.
Thank you. I like these ones. Rob Alexander does some really nice artwork.
Indeed.
Okay, let's just do it like...
I think one of my favorite
this.
swamps is Rob Alexander.
I think my all-time favorite basics are Mirage, actually. But I don't remember who does those.
I don't know who did them either. There are these really cool. I don't know if they're the APAC basics or something. MTGO gave them out a while ago as a promo, and they are just beautiful. There's this Sunflower Plains.
Oh, those are... Yeah, I think those are Euro, actually.
Euro
The-
ones. They are so pretty.
Yeah, the
Love them so
sunflower
much.
ones are so nice.
Yeah.
And there's
Just
like
awesome
a windmill
colors.
one. Like
Mhm.
that whole cycle is really good. They're actually like kind of expensive, I think, by basic land standards on Moto, which means
Yeah.
like less than or more than free.
Exactly.
Right.
But
More than
compared
get
to
them
the
from
paper
free
world,
bots.
Mm,
I need to get some more of those fancy full art nickel bolus lands. I saw a foil one of those in real life. They are really pretty.
yeah, they are really nice. I bet those will end up being expensive eventually, especially the foil ones.
Right now, I think they're
Because
pretty
eventually
cheap.
they'll filter their way to the people who really like Bolas.
I love
I
Bolas.
bet you that white and green are just expensive.
That would be
Ooh,
kind of funny.
that makes sense, I guess. If you play like a Grixis Bolas commander deck, you got to have the lands.
Right.
Huh? What? What's
My
happening?
favorite card in the deck, Spellweaver Volutes.
Enchant an instant in your
In-
graveyard.
Graveyard?
Yes.
Oh, future
Whenever you
sight.
cast a sorcery spell, copy the enchanted instant card. You may cast that copy without paying its mana cost. If you do, exile it, and then it goes clamping onto a different instant card.
Well, this is the dumbest card ever made.
That's
so
hilarious.
good. It's so good.
I love it.
It's so good. All
I
right,
don't
now I
think
can
I
die.
I don't think I have any graveyard hate.
Well, we now have an aura enchanting a card in a graveyard, so that's a thing.
Yes.
That's so silly. I would have never known that card existed if it hadn't been for this. Beautiful. Weaver Volute or Volute or something. Okay.
Hmm.
What does Seth do in his position?
Yeah, I have no idea.
I don't
Well, I
even
could
know.
do.
You could wipe
let's
the
see.
board,
I can
which
do
gives you a
16
chance.
to Tomer. So if you want to do that, if you want to do 4 to him somehow, that'd be sweet.
Alternatively,
I'll-
you could
let
use me to take out Jennifer, and then you can deal with me.
Let me see if I can find my Psionic Blast.
Because you know you're not dealing with Jennifer.
Yeah,
Why
the-
not?
The main thing that's going through. Oh, all right. I'm just gonna pass the turn.
Oh,
I'm gonna pass. I can make a clue
a
and
bold
draw a card.
strategy.
I just drew a great card. I like this one.
Oh goodness, am I dead?
But I think. I can only do 16 damage.
Shouldn't have tapped down my Hypnotic Siren. That could have been one more.
Yeah.
Oh, man. It keeps getting more brutal.
Aw. Aw.
You just wanted to play him every turn, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what
The funny part is, and this is a rare situation, the Aura Spellweaver Volute is safe because she can't bounce the card in your graveyard.
I was so
Correct.
worried about
I could
that.
bounce the enchantment, but not the card it's enchanting.
Which is hilarious.
That made me happy that the volume stays for now. It's a lot of things. Oh, I'm dead.
I don't think you're quite dead.
I'm not dead. I feel like Seth still has a counter, like, just in case.
Just in case you were to recast your commander.
And assume Seth's plan is wait until I'm dead, board wipe, / hope for a board wipe.
That seems reasonable.
It
and
is.
make clues in the meantime.
I think that's a perfectly reasonable play. Make clues / crack clues.
Oh my goodness, so many triggers. Oh, that's brutal.
4 minutes. Oh.
No! My clue production.
Tap it in response.
I'm going to. Wait, no.
You gonna
Oh,
investigate and response?
the decisions. Tomer, do I need to leave up a counter?
I'm not hurting you, Seth. Next turn, I'm going to die, so I'm going to try not to die.
Alright, I'll make a clue then. I don't know if I trust you anymore, Tomer. That sounds like something you'd say the turn before you play your commander, give it haste, and somehow 21 me.
Watch me, yeah, like I'm going to attack you, like, haha! I got you.
Shouldn't have made that clue.
I'm going to try to kill Jennifer this turn, though.
Hope you can't.
Man, if you can kill Jennifer this turn, I will be very impressed.
I would be super impressed.
All right, well,
That seems like par for the course.
here I go. So
I guess-
definitely playing Shu Yun. I think that is step number 1.
Oh, man.
So what is the spell, the Spellweaver Volute targeting? The Frantic Search?
Frantic search.
So when you cast a sorcery, you copy the instant, and then you exile the instant, and you can attach it to any other instant in your graveyard? Huh.
I'm going to be more excited to see if this works
This
on MTGO appropriately.
You might actually be able to kill someone here. I didn't even...
I think so.
Because you can give it haste with
I
the
don't screw it up.
expedite. Jeez. I can't believe this is actually a thing that's happening.
The
I've
volume.
never seen anyone play Spellweaver Volute before.
I guess I could have bounced your Spellweaver Volute and made you have to play it again.
You could have also, and I didn't mention this because I thought of being nice to Tomer, you could have Vessel of Endless rested the instant in his graveyard, and then the Spellweaver Volute would also just gone away.
Well, my main worry was
No, it's... Yeah, you're right.
the
I could've-
Dungeon Geist tapping him down. I didn't have an answer to that.
I think you actually played... Oh, you could have blinked the Vessel. I see. Never
Yeah.
mind. I was going to say you played it before he played
Oh.
Volute, but...
Yeah, I could have blinked it, so I actually probably should have
I see.
stopped this. Bummer.
Did I already play a land? I guess it doesn't matter.
It's a good place to be. Whatever. Land drops. Who cares?
All right, bam. All right, bam.
Oh no!
Unblockable.
I don't want to die this way. My deck finally did something nice.
Well-
Your deck got to do something nice.
True.
My bad.
Yeah, Tomer just decided to kill us all real quickly again.
I did. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Boom. And I guess that's it.
Oh, is that all?
I get the scry.
Gets to scry. I'm sad. I cannot block.
So what?
Come on, Seth. Please kill him.
Put it down.
This didn't go the way I had drawn it up, but
Oh my goodness.
Ooh.
that's all I can do. Oh no, are you gonna counter this? Oh,
No
my-
way.
Stayed full.
Oh,
Oh my gosh. This
I
is
was
actively
This is a little bit-
disgusting.
This is a bit gross.
Oh my gosh.
I was hoping Jennifer was gonna kill you, and then I could blow up her board and maybe somehow steal the win. But now I'm gonna die.
no, don't die. You have to take out Tomer for us.
I can't imagine that Tomer can't 21 me after what I've saw him do to you
Yeah.
and Tom.
I will.
Oh, you're gonna cast some spells and prowess your thing.
Well, if you put it that way,
Is that what's
I guess,
happening,
yes.
Tomer?
tidings.
Ugh. Which means you cast everything in your graveyard.
Yeah.
All your instants.
Oh
Gross.
boy.
And,
Gross.
And oh,
I might just scoop so you don't get the satisfaction.
I think I'm almost
Nah,
done.
make him do it. He might mess up.
I
That's
almost
actually
messed
a
up
really good
initially.
point.
I'm trying to redeem myself at this point. On Oh my goodness.
So is Shu Yun like really good in normal commander as well, or is it very good in Penny Dreadful commander?
I don't know. I
Really
I
don't
played him
know.
tribal monk and he didn't do anything. If people remember.
You, the
This
tribe
seems
might have been
sweet.
the problem there.
Boom. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I got there.
I think you did. Good game. Good game.
Good game. That
Ooh,
was
man.
Yeah, the idea of the deck was basically I was going to be using Shu Yun as a win condition because we don't get to see Voltron too often. I think the closest that we got to Voltron in like the past 2 seasons was when like Tom suited up a Bantu that could 2-shot people. And that was just not like even a strategy on Voltron. So I wanted to do something more Voltron-y. I also had the Spellblade that would draw me a lot of cards and also would benefit from Double Strike off Shu Yun. So that was a thing. I had Sphinx Bone Wand, which gets charge counters every single time you cast an instant or sorcery, and then you deal damage to a creature or player equal to the number of charge counters. I basically ran every instant and sorcery type of card matters that was available to me in Penny Dreadful. And the idea was just to play a bunch of instant and sorceries, as many as I could, and do cool things off that. I also had like Runechanter's Pike, Scroll of the Masters, Sunforger as my toolbox kit, and my favorite card ever was Spellweaver Volute. It works very well because it also triggers prowess and whatnot. So it ended up working really well. I think you can also tune the deck to have a different style of play. For example, I have a Drown New deck that is also Spellslinger. It has most of the same cards because it is a blue-based deck in general, except it doesn't go aggro at all. It goes the exact opposite. It goes for the slow win conditions with like Sphinx Bone Wand, Rise from the Tides too, which is a standard, a fun standard card, or and it goes in that direction. So depending on if you want to be aggressive, hyper aggressive, you can go Shu Yun. Or if you want to play Spellslinger and want to go super controlly, you have Drown You as an excellent choice as well. So, Tom, we got to see the deck ramp. We got to see the deck produce a lot of tokens. We didn't get to see Hazezon come out. Did you have any other cool cards that you wanted to showcase? Any cool interactions that you didn't get to showcase? Tell us a little bit about your deck.
Yeah, so you saw it on the top of my deck. The Sigil Captain's actually pretty cool in this deck. It's a 4-mana 3/3. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, if it's a 1/1, it gets 2+1/+1 counters on it. And then sorry, excuse me. I did find a couple of just kind of fun cards that that I was really surprised were legal or just seemed like a blast. So like Zendikar Resurgent is legal in this format, which is great. And I basically grabbed the large mana producers I could so that I could kind of just have as much fun with this sort of token build as I could. There's a lot of really great token... I was going to say exacerbators, because that's the terrible word for this. There's a lot of cards that make tokens wonderful in this format. Collective Blessing is legal in this format, so just all your creatures get +2/+3. Also, Pass by Adriana, Captain of the Guard, so you can give all of your creatures melee. So you can also give them +2/+3 just by dropping her on the battlefield. And then Furious Stoke Giant as well is really fun. Warstorm Surge, somehow a penny, is pretty cool. And then Titanic Ultimatum was definitely something I wanted to try and kill somebody with. The best of the ultimatums, and the best of the overruns as well, which is really cool. And then also Harvest Season is a penny right now, which is kind of cool. So
Oh my
out of
goodness,
Amonkhet.
yes.
Yeah,
That would
so
work
that was
so well with Hazezon, too.
Yep, it would work really, really, really cool. I was excited to kind of try that one out, but I didn't get to really show off too much of how the deck works. There were some really fun things, and earlier I mentioned that some cards don't really... The deck is missing some important parts of it, and one of them is definitely sacrifice effects. So one of the scariest parts about playing Hazezon Tamar is that you want to be able to sacrifice him before the Sand Warriors come out, so that you don't have the downside of Hazezon Tamar of when he leaves the battlefield, you exile all Sand Warriors, which is really important. So, and especially against Jennifer's deck, who's running Brago, if Hazezon was still on the battlefield when the Sand Warriors come out, she could just bounce Hazezon and then all the Sand Warriors disappear, which is crazy. So usually you play like Fling effects, or you play lands that sacrifice Hazezon, but there weren't any lands I could use to sacrifice Hazezon. So I have like Perilous Forays. Somehow Fling isn't legal in this format, so no Fling.
Really?
Yeah, so Perilous Forays was kind of the only one that fit in the theme and also let me sacrifice Hazezon, which is important. But overall, I had some fun finding the mana ramp cards that I want to play, and I still got to play some of my favorite cards of all time. Ogre Battle Driver I still think is a blast, and so is Instigator Gang. So I got to play some fun ones, and I definitely think if the game had gone on a couple more turns, I definitely could have done some really cool things. I was basically a turn away from casting Hazezon and then a turn away from having the 1/1s. So that would have been a blast. And then also, yeah, I definitely was very excited to see the kind of cards that were legal in the format. I've always been an advocate of Commander being really cheap on MTGO, so I was really happy to kind of show off the eternal cheapness of MTGO. This kind of makes up for all the games where we played like a 30-ticket deck, and we're like, oh yeah, it's just an extra $10. Now it's like, well, I mean, we can play 79-cent deck, so there's that.
Yeah, it's very true. Like, based on what cards we want to be playing with, we can really cut it down to $1 rather easily. I feel like once we had the use of that website Scryfall to actually sort by cards that were legal in this format, it became really easy to build a deck with this restriction. It seemed like we had all the ramp, we had all the removal, we had all the card draw, we had most of the really cool cards, perhaps not all the staples, but we had really good replacements on all of them too. I had one specific question. I've dabbled with Hazezon before. I want to ask if you had Shield of Velis Veil. It's a changeling instant, and basically
Yes.
it turns all target players' creatures into changelings for the turn?
Yeah, it's one of the spiciest cards in the Hazezon deck.
Yeah.
Basically, you turn all of someone's creatures into sand warriors. You get rid of your own Hazezon, and then all their creatures are now just exiled. It's super fancy. And it was definitely going to be one of the best ways to get around Jennifer's deck if she did decide to bounce Hazezon. I'm like, well, we'll both take this route then. Mm-hmm. Your creatures can all be sand warriors now, and then they're all now exiled. It's fun that way.
Yeah.
Cute.
It's one of many ways I feel that is up Hazezon's arsenal. Like, you had Fury Stoke Giant in your hand as well. That would have been very explosive, too.
Yeah, there's a lot of fun things you can do with this guy. And a lot of it is legal in Penny Dreadful, which is really, really, really cool. I was happy to kind of show off the beginnings of the deck, and y'all can finish it off on your own games. Enjoy.
All right, Jennifer. We got to see Brago have a dominant position board-wise and blink a lot of things. Were there some really cool things that you didn't get to show off that you could blink, and any other cards that fit very well in your deck?
I mean, there are lots of really cool cards. So when I go to build a deck, I do all my searches and I pull all of the cards into a list. And I ended up with over 200 cards that I was interested in maybe playing. So I had to cut so many cards. This was it had my dual lands but didn't have basics and stuff. So I had to cut it down to 70 or 60 cards. But my deck did almost exactly what it was supposed to. And I think this is going to be relatively consistent because it's got enough draw effects into the battlefield. It has, there's a lot of different creatures that have similar abilities. So I have a lot of, bouncing creatures. I have a lot of, drawing cards when it enters the battlefield. Just a lot of good value things out of there. I can't tutor for any one specific answer at all, but I feel like that's okay. My main win condition was, as you guys could see, was to go wide, to go wider than you all, so I could just bash in with all these tokens. And I was able to pare it down to where almost all of my tokens had evasion. So most of them had flying or whatever. Interestingly, Arcanus the Omnipotent is a penny. It's legal in Penny Dreadful right now. So I was playing that one. And then, Cloud Blazer, that new card from Aether Revolt, or from Kaladesh.
Oh, yes, new Mount
So
Drifter,
good.
essentially.
Yeah. ETB, draw 2, gain 2. Just bounce that a bazillion times. Is so good.
Mm-hmm.
What was some of the other cards? So the one I had in my hand that I said was really cool was Resolute Archangel. So when there's battlefield, reset my starting life total if it's less than my starting life total.
Oh my goodness.
So if you hadn't been killing me via commander damage, you would have to do 40 in one turn. Through all of my bounce and freeze and whatever effects.
Yeah.
So that seemed pretty good too. I was pretty excited to play that one. A handful of counter spells to protect everything, and light form. Manifest works really interestingly.
I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, so I'm playing that one. So for those of you who don't know, if you manifest something and then you flicker the light form, you also are flickering the card underneath, and it can come back. If it comes back down, it'll come back down face up. So you can get huge creatures or extra lands or all these things with manifesting and blinking or flickering. So it's sweet.
Yeah, definitely my favorite thing about Brago is a lot of the blink decks, they focus on creatures and creature enter the battlefield effects because most of the blink effects only target creatures. But Brago is one of the unique ones in that he can target any non-land permanent. So enchantments like Light Form and other things like that. Mystic Remora, you can reset the age counters on Mystic Remora to keep on drawing those cards. There's a lot of shenanigans with Brago, and every single set brings new permanents that have entered the battlefield effects. So there's always more cards to put in his arsenal at any budget.
Another cool card I forgot to mention, Luminate Primordial. When it enters the battlefield, for each opponent, exile up to one target creature that player controls. And then you all gain life equal to its power, but whatever. I can exile up to 3 creatures every time it enters the battlefield. I don't know, that one was just cool. So.
Yeah, I love Brago. He's sweet. And sweet at multiple budget ranges, which is very cool. Seth, we didn't see too much of your deck. It seemed very controlling, and you mentioned it was basically like flying tribal. What were the all-stars in the Isperia deck? What did it aim to do? And were you running telepathy?
I did not have telepathy. No.
Really? Because it seemed like that would have been a really easy way to know what's in everybody's hand to guess correctly.
That's true. I was hoping just to, I was figuring I would probably not necessarily get right the first time, but then I would know what was in people's hands and get right the second time. So that was kind of my hope, but I didn't have any tricks for actually looking at people's hand. But basically, I had a lot of the Sphinx cards, so I did keep most of them from when I started off as Sphinx Tribal, even though a lot of them, well, some of them are just big flyers, but there's some good card advantage generating Sphinx that can draw you cards in different ways. And then I had just a lot of silver bullets. Resolute Archangel can gain a bunch of life. I had the blue Primordial, which has flying to steal some instants from people's graveyards. Amiria Shepherd for reanimation. Slen Blast Angel can be kind of a wrath. Draining Whelk is a counter spell on a flying body. And then you saw the one creature I did cast, Hypnotic Siren, is like a mind control. Stratus Dancer, another counter spell. I did have Stone Cloaker for graveyard hate. So I had a lot of different options. Looking at my deck right now, I think for some reason I was thinking this format was going to be somewhat slower than other formats, like the Mana Rocks. There's no Soul Ring. There's no Cultivate. The Mana Rocks are more likely to be like 3 mana instead of 2 mana. So I was thinking maybe the game would be a little bit slower. So I have a lot of expensive cards. If you look at my curve, like so many 5, 6, 7 mana cards. So I think that was part of the issue, that my draw was going to be really slow no matter what. And then missing my land drop that one turn where I accidentally passed my turn kind of doubly made it a problem because I'm already playing a slow deck. But I didn't have any real tricks, but pretty much basically good ramp, some whatever wraths were legal in the format, card draw, and then all the different flyers that I could hopefully tutor up. Also, Gravitational Shift was probably one of the spicier cards, which is this weird enchantment, gives all creatures with flying +2/+0, and all creatures without flying -2/-0. So it would have ended up being super good against Tom's deck in specific, but also against Jennifer's deck to some extent as well, with all the small tokens running around. I actually have a question about Penny Dreadful, and I don't know if any of us know the answer to this, but they update when a set releases. So does that mean that the newest set usually isn't legal for the most part because prices are usually inflated right when a set releases? Like, are there less cards from the newest set legal until the following set release?
I believe that's correct.
Okay.
Because those cards would have to be a penny on the day they were released.
Okay.
So I didn't see any Amonkhet cards when I was going through. But
that's what got me wondering about it. I didn't really see any either.
Yeah. But I mean, Penny Dreadful's, so it updates so relatively frequently, every 3 months or so. So it doesn't really hurt that much to be a set behind. Because it's constantly changing and turning over and adapting to staying as cheap as possible.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I think the format's actually pretty interesting. I liked it more than I thought I would. I was a little pessimistic heading into it, but even though my deck didn't really work out the way I was hoping, I think the format's pretty sweet.
All right, that wraps up Commander Clash. Last week, we asked you guys to send in your viewer-submitted decks for us to play in a future Commander Clash, and next week, we're going to choose 4 of those decks that were submitted by you guys to play with. So, it's going to be a lot of fun, and until then, see ya! Thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, help us out by clicking that like button down below. And to keep up with the latest and greatest, click on the subscribe button, and don't forget to hit that bell icon to get alerts whenever we have new videos. And if you want to check out similar videos, click on the links here and here.